Confirmation then that Hansi Flick is the new coach of Barcelona. We should just show that TikTok again where he talks about his blue eyes and being 5'10". Sid, what has been the reaction to the fans with this finally being confirmed?
Well, do you mean to the fact that he's 5'10" and got blue eyes, or do you mean to what he's got as a
Did you see that TikTok, Sid?
I mean, look, it was extraordinary, yes.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And it's quite remarkable. I mean, look, sometimes we're old men now, and sometimes you think, well, maybe this is what people want these days. But it was pretty awkward and not the best. I wonder if this is how they're going to go about identifying the players they want to sign now as well. You know, must be 6'2", brown-eyed, you know, beautiful long blonde hair. Who knows what it is they're going to be looking for? The reaction to this really is that, I think, in a way, the reaction had happened before he came, if you see what I mean. Because I think that the focal point of Hansi Flick's arrival and Xavi's departure has been not so much about the end result as about the way it's been managed. And I think there's really a lot of disappointment at the way that Xavi was treated, the way that it's unfolded, the fact that Barcelona, and in particular Joan Laporta, the president, hasn't kind of, if you like, fronted up to it. The actual fact of the change, I think a lot of people are reasonably happy with. And I think a lot of people, now that we've kind of got to this point, in a way, at least, it provides a cut-off. It provides a watershed that says, OK, everything that happened with Xavi, the way that was carried out, OK, it's done now. Now here's Hansi Flick. And truth be told, I think most people are thinking, actually, you know what? Hansi Flick probably is the kind of manager we want at Barcelona. And so I think there's a degree of cautious optimism at the moment, but that's allied to that sense of discomfort at how they got to this point.
I'm guessing maybe the Hansi Flick TikTok didn't come across on your algorithm?
I'm not sure. I saw a thing about him walking around with Deco, is that?
No, this is it. I'll show you what it is, and I wonder if you would have done this when the Revs appointed you. Let's take a look.
I'm looking for a man in football, trainer, 5'10", blue eyes. Football, trainer, 5'10", blue eyes. Football, trainer, 5'10", blue eyes.
Oh, that's cringy, isn't it?
It's interesting that he agreed to do it and somebody thought that was a good idea.
But why didn't he go? No.
It's his new club trying to make a good impression, isn't he? Maybe it was his idea.
If he's getting pushed around by the PR guy, what chance has he got with Laporte?
Well, it's first day, isn't it? You just say yes to everything. It'd be nice.
That wasn't a good move.
No.
Well, they actually looked as though he was enjoying it.
Yeah, he did. Well, there we are. Maybe that's just character.
But it was cringe material watching it.
Do you like this appointment, Ali?
I certainly don't like the way they've gone about it, to Sid's point. And it's not necessarily that I was flying the flag for Xavi. It's just, once you made the decision that Xavi was coming back, then you stick with that, whether we agree that being the right or wrong decision. Once you've taken the picture of Deco, Laporta, and Xavi all with the hands in, three musketeers, you imagine that the plan in place is for Xavi. And so now this seems like a very hasty transition, messy transition into Hansi Flick. And now you still have the same issues that you had before with this group of players, and you still have the same issues that you had before in terms of the finances of the club. And so you need to get players healthy. You need to get Gavi back. You need to get Pedri playing at a high level once again. You need the young guys to carry this team. You need Lewandowski to score goals like he did for the most part in his career, but didn't this year. You need to have all of that. And on top of all of that, you need to have defending. And this is what I think is an issue. Hansi Flick himself describes his style of play as attacking football. Well, but that wasn't exactly the problem for Barcelona this season. If you watch them play, yeah, they could have been better in the attacking half. But it's in the defensive half where they had their problems. That's where they had their issues. That's where they had concerns. And I don't know that Hansi Flick checks that box when it comes to defending. I'm not sure that I would have been looking for Mourinho in terms of parking the bus, but you want somebody who can at least give you an idea or the perception that maybe, just maybe, will focus on defending at some point, and then offensively things will take care of themselves. That doesn't seem to be the case with Hansi Flick.
You'd look at it a different way. Who's the happier fan base? Chelsea, Bayern Munich or Barcelona? I think Barcelona will be pretty happy.
You think so?
Yes.
You think they got the best of the deal?
Yes.
Sid, we talked a lot this week about the reports that Xavi and Lewandowski didn't have the best of relationships. What's the fans' relationship like with Lewandowski?
I think actually in a way that they would be broadly in Xavi's camp, which isn't to say that they think there's anything horrendously wrong with Lewandowski, but I think there's been a degree of frustration at the games when he hasn't taken his chances, but more than that, the sense of if you like, that there's not enough happening beyond the goals, that there's not enough of that ability to bring the ball down, to bring others into play, to be the footballer that he was in the first 6 months. And I think there's also an awareness, in truth, and of course, as they watch a team where young players come through and are very dynamic and are very exciting, and they look at Lewandowski's age, and I think they look at the cost of Lewandowski in the situation they're in, and they think, just wonder if it would be better if we could somehow find someone to take this wage bill off us and to maybe even give us some money for him. So I think most fans would probably have a degree of sympathy for Xavi's idea that maybe Lewandowski wasn't the striker that he wanted. That said, of course, and this is the nature of football fans, isn't it? There's always that combination of fatalism and then wild optimism. Of course, fans are looking at this and thinking, well, I'll tell you what, when Flick worked with Lewandowski last time, that's when he scored ludicrous amounts of goals. And he scored a lot of goals at Barcelona. And, so of course you cling to that hope that perhaps with a different type of manager, perhaps with a slightly different approach, perhaps with them delivering more balls into the box a little bit earlier, providing chances for Lewandowski, only asking him to put the ball in the net, and they know that he can do that well, perhaps that can work.
Some have raised their eyebrows over the fact it's just a 2-year contract, Sid. Is this a big deal?
No, I don't think so, to be honest with you. I mean, for what it's worth, financially, Barcelona really shouldn't be giving anyone more than a 1-year deal, quite honestly. I don't think the fact that it's 2 is particularly significant, no.
Let's take a look at what Sid really cares about, though, this weekend. It's the final round of matches in the Segunda. Valladolid are fine. They are promoted. Oviedo should be fine, shouldn't they? Yeah, for a playoff spot. It looks like Leganés will take that second promotion place. All of those games will be live on ESPN+. Eibar against Oviedo. Sid, you okay?
No, I'm not. I'm absolutely terrified. Because last weekend I was watching this game from pitch side at the Pizjuán before the Barcelona-Sevilla game. Oviedo 3-0 up with 5 minutes to go. It was done, like mathematically done. Oviedo were in the playoffs, and then Sporting Gijón, of all teams, Oviedo's big rivals, score with 4 minutes to go, and it changes everything. And of course, it's now Sporting who could take that place off Real Oviedo. Both Sporting and Racing, the other teams who are in that fight for the final playoff place, both of them play against teams with nothing to play for. Oviedo go and play Eibar away, and Eibar are a team that could still get promoted automatically. The best thing that can happen to Oviedo, of course, is that Leganés are winning clearly very, very early, and Eibar realise that nothing's going to change, and they both basically don't fight for it. But no, I'm not at all confident about this. Although, of course, I'm supposed to put on a brave face and say we're going to do it because we're Real Oviedo.
Are you going, Sid? You going to Eibar?
Yeah, I'll be going, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be going. No, don't you worry about that, Dan. I'll be there. Stuff Wembley. This is where the real action is. Just to remind then, Eibar against Real Oviedo and all those other games from La Segunda available on ESPN+. They all kick off at 12:30 Eastern. You can see Sid crying in the crowd. Just some updates. Jose Mourinho reports suggesting he's agreed to join Fenerbahce until 2026. Antonio Conte set to become Napoli manager. We discussed it on the show, haven't we? Meanwhile, Enzo Maresca set to become Chelsea manager. Of course, it's Chelsea on a 5-year contract.
What is going on?
The good thing is that there's an option for a 6-year.
Well, yes, I'm sure he'll be there for 6 years and beyond.